The 2019 census will determine the fate of 27 constituencies that were gazetted as protected in 2012 when the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission did the exercise last.
According to data from the IEBC, some of these constituencies will have to be merged to reach the threshold, and new ones created to retain the 290 number envisaged in the Constitution.
Kennedy Muredi joins us in studio with more details.
Well, now, constituencies in the 2022 may not exist as you have known them since 2013 if the planned 2019 boundaries review is anything to go by. This is informed by Article 89, subsection 5 of the Constitution that demands that a review is done in a period not less than 8 years and not more than 12 years. Okay, this will most likely affect constituencies that until now were classified as protected by the Constitution, or that is by IEBC. These are, we have these constituencies as Mvita, Galole, Bura, River, Lamu East, Lamu West, Taita, Taita Taveta, Wundanyi, Mwatate. That is also, as we go on, we also have Mwatate, also Voi. Will also be, these are constituencies that are in the coast region, that is the former coast province. We also have, as we go to the eastern province, that is the what used to be eastern province, we also have North Hor, Saku, Laisamis, Isiolo South, Siakago, Kilome, and also we are moving from eastern, and also some of them also in central province, that is the former central province. We have Ndaragwa, Tetu, Odhaya, Mukurwaine, Kangema, and Mathioya. These are some of those constituencies in central. We also move to the Rift Valley. We also have these constituencies such as Samburu East, Marakwet East, Keyo North, and Mogotio. These are some of the constituencies, and we also moving on to the western, what used to be the western province, and we have Vihiga, that is in Vihiga County, and Budalangi, that is in Busia County. Now, these numbers were based on the 2009 census that placed Kenya's population at 38 million. Now, when we look at these maths, now the population quota at that particular time was 133,138 people. If you multiply this by the 290 constituencies that we have and also that were prescribed in the Constitution, you will get that the constituency and all these numbers of people were 38,610,020. The Constitution in Article 89(6) envisages that the inhabitants of a constituency or ward may be greater or lesser than the population quota by a margin of not more than 40% for cities and sparsely populated areas, and also 30% for areas. Thus, the figures reached as tabulated above. That is the graphics that we are showing you. Going by this, if the 2019 census gives a figure of, let us say, 52 million Kenyans, which is what the IEBC hypothetically is working with, some of the constituencies that had been declared protected will not meet the threshold, and thus they will have to disappear. With a population of 52 million, now we are doing this maths, with a population of 52 million, divide this by 290 constituencies, you get a population quota of 180,000 people per constituency. Now, come in and apply the 40% variation that is required, that is in Article 89(5). The variation for a city where Nairobi is the only gazetted city, you get a population of 72,000 people, that is to make a city constituency. Now, for these others, you will have to apply 30% variation. These are other places that are densely populated and also that are not cities. That is including Mombasa and Kisumu, because according to the Constitution or according to gazettement, they are not cities. Now, and you will reach a figure of about 54,000 people to make a constituency, that is a densely populated constituency. If you use the hypothetical scenario, constituencies such as, these are constituencies such as Lamu East, Saku, and Isiolo South will have to be merged and pave way for new constituencies to maintain the 290 constituencies prescribed in the Constitution. Now, Dennis, going by what you have seen there, going by what you've seen and what we have been able to tabulate, what do you think? Is any of your constituencies, has it been mentioned? And probably if it has been mentioned, probably as we go into the 2019 census, there's a probability that you'll be moved and your constituency will be merged with another one and you'll be given a new name.
Thank you so much, Moredi. It's actually something we're debating with Olive here, and my constituency is not really affected back from the village. What about yours?
No, it isn't, but I do have a question for you, Kennedy. What does protected mean?
Oh, okay, that is very good. That is a very good question, and I know so many Kenyans will be asking about it. Protected means that when they were doing the boundaries delimitation in 2012, there are those constituencies that did not meet the threshold, but they had to be protected according to the census that they had at that particular time. That is the 38 million. And according to that population quota at that particular time, which was 133, 138, that base, they were not able to reach that required number, and so the IEBC had to come in with the help of the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics and make sure that with them they have to give them a certain period for them to get the required number, so that as they moved into the 2022, as I have said, there is a period which must not be less than 8 years and which should not be more than 12 years. Then they are given a period for them to get to the required number that is as prescribed within that period. So if we move into the 2022 elections or in the 2019 census, and some of these constituencies will not have reached the numbers as per the population quota of that particular time, then they will have to go, or they will either be merged so that we have a new set of constituencies, but they must remain at 290 constituencies, as that is what is prescribed in the Constitution, that is Article 89.
Moredi, just before we let you loose, sorry to ask you this one quick last question. The way we understand politicians, I mean, this is not just about drawing a line in terms of a boundary. It involves people. And I'm looking at the census, and I'm looking at the different areas, and you're talking about population of those different areas. Wouldn't this then create a political storm?
Well, today morning we had the opportunity of having IEBC chairman, that is Wafula Chebukati, and that question was posed. And what he said at that particular time is that exercise about census is not about them at all. Census is about the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Once they get that data from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, that is when they will come in and actually do this delimitation and cluster people according to the statisticians that they have at the commission. So it is not about them and politicians. Politicians will have to deal with the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Dennis.